welcome to the first episode of Educators. For this episode, we'll be discussing the question, what if all children had equal education? This kind of question shouldn't be something that needs to be asked, but it's still a prevalent issue today. Not every child has equal educational opportunities as others. Now, we all know that society has a moral obligation to make sure that all children receive an adequate education that gives them the skills needed to become contributing adults in society. It's really in its best interest, really. If a child with talents doesn't receive a good education, its talents are not nurtured, and it doesn't have the same capacity to contribute to society rather than a child who had a good education. MyGivingPoint.org says that by failing to develop those talents, society loses opportunities for enrichment and progress. Further social waste is gained by the long-term social and financial costs of poor education. Inadequate education leads to large public and social costs in the form of lower income and poor economic growth, reduced tax revenues, and higher costs of health care, social security, and increased crime. And I honestly agree. Without educating people and developing their talents, you lose hardworking individuals who might better the society they live in. Without those individuals, the quality of society diminishes. Already, minority students are also at a disadvantage in access to advanced academic opportunities. 55% of the high schools surveyed with a small number of minorities offer calculus, but only 29% of high schools with a large number of minorities do. Similarly, 82% of low minority schools offer Algebra 2 compared to 65% of the high minority schools. 44% of the students surveyed were Black and Hispanic students, but only 26% of students in gifted and talented programs were Black and Hispanic. So if we want to fix that, we have to give every kid equal education, or rather, true educational equity. MyGivingPoint.org has a definition for education equity for us. Educational equity is the study and achievement of fairness, justice, and impartiality or equality in education. The term equity means accommodating and meeting the specific needs of specific individuals. This means ensuring that everyone's learning needs are met. Educational equity is based on the principles of fairness in distributing resources, opportunities, treatment, and success for every student. This educational equity is what we need. Despite the multiple variables that go into the whole shebang of making every kid's education equal, like learning disabilities, inequalities of resources, and social class inequalities, if we all start funding organizations like the Annie E. Casey Foundation, they'll help close the achievement gap, which separates economically disadvantaged students as well as minority students from less disadvantaged pupils, and achieve education equity. Other things you could do are volunteer at places like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Clubs, and the YMCA to become a positive role model to students. You can also call up your local congressperson and tell them that you support better school funding or attend your local school board meetings and make sure your voice is heard. But anyways, I don't have anything else to say. That'll be a wrap. I'm Blorbo Waka Waka, and this was the first episode of Educators. See you later!